Hello, everybody, and welcome to this brand new episode of Music to Live for with Shanti. I'm your host, Shanti Pepperlini, and today's episode is collaboration with AngerXrage Booking from Denmark. We're gonna talk with Mona and Jeppe from the band Mite. What we're waiting for? Let's go! Hello, everybody, Shanti here, host of the podcast Music to Live for with Shanti. And before we start this episode, please go and check it out. Strange Skulls Apparel. It's a small DIY production. They print T-shirt, hoodies, bennies, patches, even gift cards, all from Germany, all DIY, and goes in between horror and fantasy. Go and support these artists, support your local DIY artists. Thank you, Nina, for support my podcast. Let's go!
Check this out. Music to live for with Shanti.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this brand new episode of Music to Live with Shanti. I'm your host, Shanti Pepperlini. Today, a special episode in collaboration with the Danish booking AngerXrage, and I'm here with the band Mite, and two of the members are joining me in this episode. Before I start the conversation, I just want to shout out to a friend of mine, Nina from Germany. She has a DIY production of t-shirt, tote bags, patches, hoodies, and it's called Strange Skulls Apparel. So go and check it out. The link's gonna be in the description of the episode. But right now, we start the episode and we talk with Mite. Welcome, guys. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad we could find the time to do a second episode in collaboration with AngerXrage Booking, because they always send me a lot of nice music and interesting people to talk to. So I'm very glad. Before we jump into a discussion about band and music, I'll let you introduce yourself for the audience, so the people who's gonna listen to the audio version is gonna understand with whom I'm talking to. So please, the stage is yours.
Sure. Mona first.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mona. I'm the lead singer in Mite. That was short and quick.
Short and sweet. I'm
Yes.
Jeppe. I'm the bass player in Mite.
So we have lead singer and bass player. And
Oh, yeah.
so how would you describe the genre of your band? Because I want to be honest, in the last episode I did with AngerXrage, I had to talk with musicians who were more like in the hardcore scene, I would say, punk hardcore.
Yeah.
And then I was listening to your sound, and I always have maybe my opinion, but I always like to ask to the musician itself, how would you describe the sound of Mite?
I mean, we generally call it power violence, like that Nails type of grindcore meets death metal meets whatever. Yeah. So like hardcore power violence type stuff.
Yeah, that's also you just named maybe the first band that popped up in my mind.
Yeah.
Listened to your sound and I said, "Wow, that's cool." Because I don't know, I'm most a person that like melodic things, even in metal and heavy music. Uh, but then when it comes to bands like Nails or Converge, like it's kind of like a guilty pleasure. I know that it's totally different from what I usually listen to, but they gave me this energy. They got this aggression that, whoa,
Yeah.
stay with you. And how long are you are you a band altogether?
The current lineup, we've been together for 6 months, I think. The
Okay.
band's been through, I want to say, a handful of lineup changes throughout the years. It's been a thing since 2020, the lockdown, where a guitarist, Ebbe, started the band with a different vocalist as just like a studio project. And it was just the two of them. They did a handful of EPs, got one lineup, released an EP, then split up, got a new lineup, released an EP. Deleted all that out of Spotify because at that time I had joined it, we would rather play power violence. So, and yeah, that's when we released Relentless, and the rest is pretty much history.
Okay.
The two records that are up on Spotify now, Relentless and Trials of Man, are with Peter, our old vocalist, and Lasse, our old drummer. And I think, Mona, you've been in the band for about 6 months. Same
Yeah,
with
I
Mass.
think first show was in April, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, also.
And
Yeah,
you, Mona, you were already singer in other bands, or
no,
this is like the first time
no.
when you say, I want to do that?
Yeah, it's the first time where it's out of the rehearsal. I played in a band many, many years ago. I don't know, maybe 17 years ago.
Hmm.
But yeah, it never got to anything. It was mainly just in rehearsal. Yeah, so no,
Hmm.
first true experience.
And I'm very curious, is for you as a female vocalist, like getting to this kind of art music, like even heavy riffs and really, really screamy music, or did you already in the past, let's say, also went in that direction?
I've always been yeah, in the environment. And of course it starts out in whatever you can kind of listen to from either your siblings or friends and stuff like that. So I come from a small city, and that was there was not so much in my
Hmm.
household that was hard. But yeah, then I met some other people and learned some of the classic. And yeah, then I moved to Fredericia. That's a pretty I don't know, historic kind of city for the hardcore environment in Denmark.
Hmm.
So then I grew up there in my metal kind of yeah, what I listen to, and been loving it ever since.
Oh, cool. And yeah, but for you, you already said that there was this changing our lineup and everything.
Yeah.
Was for that side of the band that stood like an idea to thinking about, oh yeah, a person like Mona is the right person. You were looking more for the kind of voice that can join, or you were just open to try something and just go, let's go with the flow and see what's going on.
I mean, the vocal style of the band particularly has always been yelling, growling, screaming, and Mona does that. And other than that, I mean, she's motivated. Our whole lineup right now is just motivated, ready to go, and that's what matters to us. By the time this podcast will be out, we'll have released our third album, Pigs and Power. It was a very spontaneous release. It was supposed to be an EP, but then our guitarist, who does all the recording and stuff, recorded the drums with our new drummer, Mads. And I guess things were just going so smoothly that they were like, hey guys, we recorded an album. Like spontaneously. And yeah,
we
we
had
just,
we had
yeah,
tracks that already had vocals on it, but were kind of planned for something else. But then yeah,
Mhm.
they were just so efficient. So now
yeah,
it's an album.
Oh, I mean, even that process, right? You start maybe saying, "Oh, let's do three song or four," and then
yeah,
suddenly say, "Oh, guys, we have enough material," and honestly, there is no reason to wait. I mean, just if it's
exactly.
there, he offer you also more opportunities to go out and stay on stages or small tours and be there. And so. Well, you said it was April this year that you started singing, and did you already how many concerts have you done all together with this new
Oh my
lineup?
God. Well, I don't know. I stopped counting.
So
You
that's
have
a
to look in
positive
our
answer. That
mail
means that you had
document.
a
yeah,
lot of gigs.
yeah, maybe 10? 10?
Okay,
Yeah,
That
cool,
sounds about right.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's about right.
nice,
Nervous
nice.
as hell the first couple of
But that's
or
normal. That's normal.
yeah. I know. But yeah, it's when you're, as you also say, interpreting other people's music, then you want to do that justice.
Hmm.
So that was a big deal for me. Still is.
Okay, okay,
I
and
want to remember it all and kind of
oh yeah, that's
deliver it.
that's this is
And yeah, yeah.
You
Oh,
should see her set list when we play live. It's full of like notes that no one can
Yes.
read either way because of the lighting
No.
and stuff.
but I
I
think
just
it's
need
the
to
idea. So
know
you
they're
say, I
there.
got. Yeah, you say I got that, I put that, I
Yeah.
remember that, but then I'm sure that you at that time you already knew what you had to do, but it's
Yeah.
always better, like this is
Yeah.
big live experience is something that I sometimes I miss because thanks to my work I'm many time on stages and behind the scene, but I noticed that when I see orchestras goes on stage and everything, I just missing out the go with them, just being part because it's curious, but the energy is the same. Like, that moment when somebody say, "Hey, it's time," and you see there is the same energy. It could be a pop band, it could be a metal band, it could be an orchestra. The energy is the same. You feel that everybody are ready. They want to deliver something, and I think this is so interesting. But question about once again about the record. What would you say that you changed something, or did you get like evolved um, in this new sound, fresh, maybe more than new, fresh sound.
I mean, sound-wise, it's definitely we tend to lean more on like a single riff at a time on the new
Hmm.
record, as opposed to the first two records where it's all like introducing a riff, play some blast beats, new riff, new riff, new riff all the time, like very chaotic. And with this new one, we try to settle down a little bit more. It's still got that nails type power violence vibe to it, but it's a bit more. The songs are a bit longer. There's a few more songs that are over a
3
minute
of
at
them are.
least. Yeah, but we try. But yeah, and the riffs all in all um, are more like prolonged, so that they're more like live friendly.
Yeah.
Like when we play them live, we like to see people also, getting the hang of it, start banging their heads
I see.
without having to change it up every, I don't know, 2 seconds or whatever. Yeah,
But we still have numbers that give that vibe because
yeah.
it's just, I think, the backbone of Mite to be a little chaotic
Hmm.
and kind of not give it all away.
Yeah. And
So some
Yeah,
and
for
the
sure.
surprises
lyrics,
still.
I'm very curious about lyrics. There is how is the process in the band? You want to write the lyrics now, or it's like kind of a work of the whole band, like giving influence or coming up with a text.
It's a little bit of both actually. We've tried because it's my first time writing anything, creating anything like this. So we've tried out what suits the best. So sometimes I've brought stuff that's finished for a specific number, and then we kind of adjust together.
Hmm.
And sometimes I don't have much, then I just have kind of some thoughts and some ideas, and then we kind of yeah work on it together. So that's at least what I like a lot about it. Again, I have never tried it before, so I don't know if it's normal or not. But I like our approach where it's we try it out. If we're in doubt, then we try it out, and then we hear it, and then we see what works.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Maybe it's good, maybe it's shit. That's like a
Yeah, but
motto.
you gotta try it out. You never know. Because I can't when the guys are saying stuff about like then this tune and whatever, and then do a little bit of this and that, and then I'm like, I don't know, man. I gotta hear it.
I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
And there is a specific topics that comes pop up in your songs. What kind of motivation stand behind the lyricism of the band?
anger.
Anger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. Yeah, it's there's a lot to be angry about in the world right now, so it's pretty easy to
Hmm.
find stuff. Um, yeah, I think that's been Mike's lyrics. Yeah, that's been the universe
Hmm.
always.
But
I
I feel
get
like
it.
with the previous couple albums, the lyrics have generally been more all about like inner chaos, like where your lyrics are more like, "Hey, fuck you," or
Yeah, but it's
more
more
like,
more.
True. True.
Sometimes I noticed that at the beginning some bands starting having these kind of more punk vibes, like
Yeah,
you need to scream something, you need to
yeah,
I don't know, things that are really really visual, like more spontaneous, and then the more it goes in some direction, you start to build like a storytelling, or like putting, oh yeah, there was these topics that I saw last day and I need to
yeah,
focus on that. And of course then you color the whole things with the colors of the bands and
yeah.
everything. And it's a process that I think something that I like from metal and hardcore is are most of the lyrics, because the music is amazing. But when I was a teenager, my mother tongue is Italian. So I was at the beginning, I was listening to metal in English, sometimes metal in German, and yeah, you understand these two, three words. But I remember being in high school and having my friends, those that were a little bit older, help me translate. And for me, for example, bands like Heaven Shall Burns, and specifically the album Antigone, it was like all these. I knew they were straight edge, I knew they were vegan, so for me straight edge is a big thing. So I say, oh, that's cool. But and then I understood that they were like more into, yeah, talking about what happened in the world, the society, injustice, and everything. And this motivates me a lot. Like we're going to some hardcore bands, the classic like Have Heart, like really Boston hardcore, where you got this lyricism. There was this some hardcore band in the beginning of 2000 that went also picking like more philosophical topics and names. It was
Right,
all a little bit like this, and I think that for me at the time was really attractive. And I thought, oh yeah, I like that. And I always think that sometimes even it doesn't have to be like that. Metal has to be like this kind of academic music, but
right.
sometimes bands really are able to brings out, even with maybe a short text, or it doesn't have to be, but those words, things like that, like the one of the best example, I would say, I was on tour with Ghost Iris, and they were already listen to the new album that will came. And I remember that there was still like this kind of technical metalcore band, and a new album open new doors. And then I was talking with Jasper about the lyrics, and then I remembered it was this song that one of my favorite. And he said, I don't know, it was like kind of a breakdown, and they said, fuck the system, fuck the world. And I
Right,
don't know, I guess I just tell the guys, it's not about the word fuck or something like this. It's just how did you put in the lyrics and in the song that frame that is
right.
a that's
Yeah.
It's
stood with
hard. It's
me.
hard as fuck.
And it was
Yeah.
cool. And then
Yeah,
when then the album came out and everything, we did one concert and I did Milano together. And whoa, I remember being on in the audience. So it wasn't no more listening to the demo tape, but it was like really saw them live singing that song, and I said, stop it. That moment, that frame, even live, what's cool. That in the end, that's important. As you
yeah,
said, making music is also a little bit more audience friendly, or like that to create an
yeah,
atmosphere.
yeah.
That's so important. And so lyricism, it's cool. Uh, you know, one of the funny things, one of my favorite song ever in that genre is Concubine of Converge. And
Right.
if you go through the lyrics, I mean, the lyrics, there exist the lyrics, but I think in the song properly, I guess he sings just three phrases of the whole lyrics of the song.
Yeah, is
And
that the first song off of Jane Doe?
sorry, yeah, the first, no, wait, the
Right,
first of the second song, I guess.
right.
And I remember that was a blast. I never heard that music that aggressive. So that for me was like open really a door. But in that case, I always been fascinated. Oh no, Jack Bannon took the time to write the lyrics, but in the song
Yeah,
is shining out just this pieces. So it's a dialogue in between music and what he has to say, and then the audience got a third kind of perception, and that was just so cool. I love that.
yeah. Because lyrics in metal and hardcore just usually tends to go over people's heads because they're screamed and there's obviously blast beats and all that stuff on top. So people mostly just don't pay attention to it. But yeah, it really is sometimes really worth paying attention to when it comes to Converge and bands like that, for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
I think
And
it also depends who's
sorry.
listening. I often listen after lyrics because that's, yeah, important to me. But yeah, of course, it is sometimes difficult to hear if you don't know the band. But yeah, I think as a if a newcomer to a metal show, they would never understand anything. Someone who has heard growling many years would probably be able to decipher some words.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Yeah,
I
maybe
see.
see it as another instrument in itself, or
Yes.
maybe
Yeah.
decipher some words here and there. But in
Yeah.
hardcore, I feel like it's pretty different because you got, like you mentioned, what's it called, pre-breakdown vocal
Yeah.
lines,
Yeah.
call outs.
All out.
Well, we've got a few in the new album, Nine
Yeah.
Millimeter Piece of Justice. That's probably my favorite of the first song.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there's a bit more emphasis on the lyrics in metal
What?
and,
You're
well,
not
in
a big
hardcore
fan
like
of the
that.
rich pedophile pieces of shit?
Yeah, no, I like that one too. Speaking
Okay.
of outer
Yeah, yeah,
circumstances
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
inspired
yeah.
I,
the
lo-
lyrics.
I
Yeah,
love the energy, the way you're talking about your music. That's the way. That's the way. That's the
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And I really hope to also to have the chance to see you live, hopefully next year. But
Fingers crossed.
You
tell
bring
me,
us to Switzerland then.
oh yeah, I mean, shout out to the guys of AngerXrage Booking. That was my booking agency with, as in not just mine. It was in collaboration with one of my best friends here in Basel, Chris Melin, and we. That was the reason why I know the guys of Ghost Iris because we had them. I mean, not them, but Scared by Beauty. I've been two-time guest here in Basel with AngerXrage Booking, and we kept contact and everything. And it was at that time we had a lot of concert, small places where you could organize events. There was a small audience. We are here. I mean, Basel still at the border between, in between France, Germany, and Switzerland. So there was we all have audience coming in, and they were kind of happy to be part of this small scene, I would say. And sadly, in the last 10, 12 years, things changed radically. Right now, there is just one bar, I would say,
Mm.
that
In
offer
Basel.
in Basel, yeah, that offer
Yeah.
really hardcore and metal
Mm.
concerts. So I need to talk to somebody because we
You
definitely
Yeah,
need
need
to,
to
well,
to make it
get a
happen.
move on.
Make it happen, make it happen.
Yes.
And by the way, if you then for the time you're gonna need a driver or some backliner, just remember about me because
Shout out.
as I said, I
Yeah.
work a lot in classical music, but I always being happy to help be part of project of bands because um, I love it. I love it. I love this kind of
yeah.
this life. I love this the spirits and of course this new music, this new sound. As I said, I love the energy, so I can imagine even live this energy will come out. And I need to ask you both this: how is for you as musicians? Um, you told me, oh, we played already 10, let's say 10 concert, and with this new lineup and everything, that means that the scene in Denmark or also near, it's alive. There's occasions. I'm very curious to hear about that.
It is alive, like you say. I mean, it's still very much underground. But yeah, I think especially hardcore seems to me, as still being a relatively newcomer, it seems to me that it's growing bigger here in Denmark at least. Um, I can only speak for me personally. I came up primarily on metal, being a metalhead since I was a teenager. But within the last like 3, 4, 5 years, started getting more and more into hardcore, and it seems like a lot of people uh, from around here are going the same direction.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
listening
think
to hardcore and metal equally. Not really, necessarily sticking to one camp or whatever.
Heavy music, let's say heavy music.
Yeah,
I like to hear. There's a lot of concert where, or even when I was with Terskos, we try always to put different kind of bands together. So the
yeah.
audience came and they got a different flavors the whole evening, and not just really one music. Like there was a nice experience. I've been in July in Manchester at the Radar Festival, and I was doing guitar tech for Ziel and Ardor, and so we
Nice.
were. I was hanging out behind the scene and a little bit sharing the festival. And I have to be honest, the lineup sounds a little bit all the same. I mean,
Right.
it was an amazing experience. They allow a lot of bands to play and have a stage. That's what's come. But just to say that, I guess in 3 hours that I was listening to, there it was missing a little bit this kind of colors. I would like to call it, you know. But sorry, do you want
Yeah.
to say something, Mona? I didn't.
No, it's more that I feel like hardcore has gotten kind of a revival in general. Yeah, it seems it's more accessible, maybe. I don't know. And also when you say festivals, we have this big festival in Denmark, Copenhagen, and
Mm-hmm.
they, at least the last couple of years, have really begun booking a lot of hardcore bands again.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they have done previously, but it's now there's always more than just a few, and they have mm, really cool bookings as well.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's a lot of the old school metalheads also get kind of an introduction maybe at festivals,
Mm-hmm.
and they also book some on the biggest festival, Roskilde Festival. Then the young kids get a chance to kind of stumble upon something
Yes.
that they otherwise might not have listened to. And yeah, as you say, giving bands a stage is of course important,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise it wouldn't. I don't think it would have this kind of a big revival. It's not as if it has gone away ever, but it seems like yeah, it's booming.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting phenomenon. Like my mom always told me, do not throw away your clothes. You think you want to wear it then
Yeah,
because they're gonna come back in
yeah,
a trend and that's
yeah.
it. I mean, now that you see some teenagers wearing like we were when I was wearing when I was in high school, you know. So that's the funny part. This is
It might
oh
be that the 90s are modern again, right? So
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
yeah.
so you also see a lot of the 90s music having a boom again now.
I think this is why also band like Turnstile right now are really in
Yeah,
Hauge,
exactly.
because they got this kind of sound that honestly I remember from for me was like playing Tony Oaks on the we got like Goldfingers. There's more punk, of course it was more punk rock and that way, but
Yeah.
they got more this melody, these groovy things like Sublime or Tree Land. And there is a band that I really love and I hope one day to have on on my podcast because they are called Tetrarch and they are like making this sound that it's really this kind in between this new metal of 2000 and they're making it but not like a copy and paste. It's like oh it tastes like that but it's not that because they got like this energy that they are youngest people, they are they know what they want to do with their sound, and I think this is the very nice things. And I really one thing that I really hope is that like in the reality where I grew up and where I am living right now is that you know there is like kind of as I said Switzerland a small country, we have kind of two big part the the German Swiss German one and the French one. I come from the Italian one but it's so small that we couldn't say that we had a scene, we belongs to the North Italian one. But there is a lot of bands, very good bands, but it always seems like everybody needs to fight to get this place on that evening on that concert, and having the scene so small, you know everybody and you feel this kind of pressure. And I think I don't know, maybe because almost 40 and I say, come on, I'm too old for that shit. But I want really to give to have the young people and not young, but people they want to play and they got still have this energy, like to have the chance to play. And whatever comes, I really hope there's gonna be like a good balance in the next years because we need that. I noticed that I personally also miss to go to concert that are not the big one. Honestly, I always been a fan of small location, small venues concert,
Yeah,
beside of
same.
openers, and I mean. and I hate camping, so I don't think open air is for me. But no, but this just to say I like this idea, the room is small, the sound is it's
Yeah.
heavy, it's compact,
Yeah.
you can feel the noise, and that's amazing. But
And
as
you
I
can
said,
actually really feel that the young people are really also in the small venues. They're really there. They
yeah,
they
Yeah.
show up and they show up for opening bands as well. It's really nice to see.
oh, cool.
And I actually discussed with some of my mates that I've been going to concert with for I don't want to say how many years, but we actually discussed that it's also kind of fun to see that you don't know everyone anymore. That was also a thing once.
That's it,
But
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's nice to see some young blood,
Mm-hmm.
and we in Denmark have some crazy young musicians that are crazy skilled already. Can't
Yes,
wait to see what
Yeah.
that's gonna pay out for them.
of
For
course.
sure.
It's
I
as
mean, we've had a lot of great metal and hardcore bands in Denmark the last 10 years, I want to say, that really like led the torch,
Yeah.
in terms of drawing in the young kids, and it's not for all young people, obviously, but the few young people that are into this shit is like really into it. They show up for the opening bands, they mosh hard, they show
mm,
up, they're there, they're buying merch, forming
Yeah,
bands of their own.
yeah,
Yeah, so it is happening.
yeah,
yeah,
I
Absolutely.
see this with some friends from north of Italy. There is this revival, this kind of new age of straight edge come popping up, and the mosh thing is something that also has a big revival, and I love that because I always be more that kind of guy who really just goes straight in the mosh pit,
Nice.
but um. I know, just it's so cool to see, and as you said, in some way, you see that you do. I don't know anybody anymore like this, but it's okay. It's okay. Also,
Yeah.
get new connection. There is a very good band, very good band from north of Italy, Instinctive. They're called, and that's interesting. Marco, shout out to Marco, is playing guitar, and the singer is kind of 12 years younger, something like this.
yeah.
So
Okay, I
like
Mm.
thought you were gonna
they
say he was 12 years old.
they got really this kind of, but they're really working hard. There is Jurelia. They're really they got this attitude, like this nuts attitude, or like more these
Nice.
American bands, and it's so nice because you say, oh, and this is also interesting. I don't know what your experience. Uh, I was playing in the garage of a friend of mine, and we learned there was no YouTube, there was no this and that. But then I saw videos how these guys playing guitar, watching tutorials, knowing how to use all this new software to have this kind of sound, and I say, "Oh my God, that's amazing!" I mean, for me as backliner, I had to learn again how to use the new camper system, cable
Right.
here and there. I normally used to put that, you got your pedals, cable in, cable out. Let's go the amp, and
Same.
everything, and so, but this is a brand new world. But in the end, I think we can arrive at the same solution that it's when you and we are on stage that's matter, as you said, people coming in listen to your thing, and it's the magic moment you talk about merchandise, and
Mhm.
I guess when there's been a moment where I guess all my garderobe were just band merch, and and then honestly, I stopped by not because the money was less, but because I found that it was not so attractive anymore. And then now I noticed that some bands are trying to bring back this kind of a metal shirt. It's a metal shirt, let's say, violent
Right.
graphic, cool calligraphy that you don't know whatever is written, but you know that it's a metal band. Like
Yeah.
not playing soft on that. And this is cool because I was missing a little bit. It seems to me that the metal scene got a little bit. Yeah, I would say softer. I'd say, of
Yeah.
course, great bands, great things, but it was like I wouldn't say that the metal scene started to become mainstream, because I think it's normal. Like there is right now, if I think of bands with female lead singers, I think it's so amazing to see there's always more lights on that. I mean, for me, it was not a surprise because I was always been a fan of Walls of Jericho. So it was cool. It was normal to know that, yeah, some band have women that sings and scream, and that's and now we got all these there was this song now. It happened with this musician from US, Poppy, and the singer guest from Spirit Box, and the singer from Evanescence, I guess. They made like a hit, let's say, that's totally fine. It's not. I'm not here to gatekeeping and everything. There is a friend of mine. Um, Her name is Marina Viotti, and she won the Grammy with the Gojira because they played
Oh,
that song when at the opening of
Oh
the
yeah,
Olympic
the
play.
yeah,
And
that was
I
fucking
remember
really
awesome.
being an
yeah,
elevator with her, and uh, and we were in that place for a classical concert. She was the soloist in that, and she sang some arias, and then she looked at me, she looked at the conductor, and then and look at me, hey Shanti, uh, do you listen? You also listen to metal, right? I say, yeah. And we started this 2 minutes elevator. We just okay, we just connect, and then
nice.
the things turn even more crazy because it comes up that she she used to date a good friend of mine from Paris, also in the hardcore metal scene. So
Small world.
it was the word is small, you see. But this is not about gossiping. It's just about saying there is all this new way to present music, to present TikTok, Instagram, and
Yeah,
I had a podcast episode with a good friend of mine, Pete Zen, and he's a producer in the state, and he said, all many bands I discovered just thanks to TikTok, and it's not about celebrating TikTok for the kind of system it is, the app it is. It's just about the medium that helps some people and bands to get in touch. And then I love these things about going out with a band shirt or hoodie, and people look at me and say, "Oh, like it happens." I was in Munich 2 weeks ago, and I'm sitting backstage. I was setting the cymbals, all classical music, and it comes the stage manager, look and come say, I guess you also listen to heavy stuff. I say, yeah, because yeah. And he told me that he is the actual drummer of a German band called Emil Bulls. And like, but it was funny because we were totally another ambience, but people can connect like this. And sometimes you have the chance to connect, like going to concert, make a friendship. When I was at the university, I met so many people listening to heavy music, just going at the local bars. But because we had our
Yeah.
style, and
yeah,
but of course, I guess social media also can allow us to get to reach out and everything. If I make a story, sometimes I use the music of friends of mine because hey, I don't know, it may can help, like it's always
Yeah.
like this, but. I'm on old school.
Yes.
I'm most the
I
person
was
that like
going to say
to go.
I would actually
I like to
prefer
go.
that old school way that you describe, where someone knows the band that I'm wearing.
right.
Um, that is that's more magic to me, because what are the odds? But yeah, I'm also old. So yeah, and I'm not on TikTok, and I will never be. But maybe that's even also a good thought of why it's why hardcore and beatdown, for example, is probably having revivals, because I assume it's still like uh
Yeah.
short and precise videos, not
Yeah, it's
Graf
very
Stats.
targeting, and
Yes.
there's a amazing production behind.
Yeah.
There is a lot of very good young filmmakers that say, "Oh no, I want to make," and they're creating this kind of visual that even that we had in the 90s and in early 2000,
Mm,
and now and they bring back this kind of tough guy things and gang
yeah.
stuff, and it's a comeback, and it's a great one, and I'm glad, and I guess this is a wave that we all need to surf until
Yeah.
Yeah,
we want, because I also think that having people that belong to the scene for a long time is always a good way to learn something or to share this experience. And this is maybe what the social media topics um, create. Is this is not it's there is, in some ways I see people more connected, but at the same time there is not dialogue. This is the feelings I have.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes I just write to the artist, and sometimes the artist answer you because yeah, you see, oh, he got the blue mark, so it doesn't for
Check
sure it's
mark, yeah.
not him or that. But
Yeah.
maybe it is because and you know that's a, what the fuck, he answer me. It's just what you know.
Yeah.
And I think these people sometimes, like, this is something that I miss a little bit, or I got this feeling the more I talk to people. But I want to ask you something, Mona, because I think that sometimes podcasts, I like to talk a little bit everything. I try to make other things funny or like interest, but there is this topic that for me, is kind of dear to me. Is like, and it's more about this gender situation that we have in the metal music. And I would like to ask you, if you want to talk about it shortly, how is your experience as a woman being thinking to, okay, I'm the front man, and of course this goes also to you, Jeppe, about the things. Okay, now we have a woman that, in a normal context, this shouldn't be like a question,
Right.
Nope.
it should be like, okay, we have fun, we go for it, and I'm totally on that, right?
Right. Of
But
course.
really, I notice, and this is also top that comes out when I talk with colleagues and everything, and I think it's always important to also to make kind of awareness of that, because for some people maybe it's more real, for other people it's something, oh, this is what to say. Sadly, for some people, many men, this is just oh, just talk. So
Yeah.
so this is my question for you: how always your feelings of being in this kind of scene, and now being the front woman of the band?
Yeah, I've been in the scene forever, but as a guest. So it's not that different to me, but still, again, it is because people approach me in a different way. Um, and I'm not that big a fan of it having anything to do about me being a woman. I would rather the music was the focus, the
Of course.
topic. But of course, I know and also see a lot of young women also that are super excited, and I love to give them what Walls of Jericho gave me. So of course it's exciting, but it's also a new world for me because I'm used to just being in the audience.
Mhm.
So in many ways it's new, and I'm still learning how I actually feel about all of that. But I can feel that I would rather the focus was on us as a band and the music itself, if people like it or not. Yeah, but I totally understand why it's because that's a lot of the focus right now, of course,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
but to me, it's somewhere I've always been, so it's still home for me. It might be different for someone else who haven't been part of the environment. I don't know. And I also feel like there's, of course, some learnings for people who was used to the previous lead singer as well. And I guess that's especially so when a female front woman kind of replaces a man. Then of course there are some that needs adjustment.
Yeah.
But I feel it's generally been positive. I don't know, Jeppe, if you think anything else.
No, people have been super supportive of you, honestly, and both your vocals and your stage presence, and people are very excited about just the live energy, your live energy. Yeah, your stage presence, your vocals. People say you're only a little bit scary, so that's fine by me. Uh, yeah, no, I mean, like I said, when we were out looking for a new vocalist, and obviously Ebbe already knew you, Mona, we were just again looking for someone with the skill, the talent, as well as the drive. You know, the person who wanted to do whatever it takes to be in a band like this. Because on the one hand, I mean, we do put a lot of work into this band. We take it very seriously. We try to release new music every year, play as much live as we can possibly get to do, but still taking into account that we don't make any money off this shit. Just like with this podcast, I mean, it's all passion. You know, it's
Yeah.
not about profit. It's not about gender. It's just honestly pure passion and contributing to the scene that and the music that we're all here for. So
And
yeah,
we're very do-it-yourself kind of band also, so that of course also takes a lot of effort and time. So of course it's we just wanna play some fucking cool shows.
And you
yeah,
you are settled as band like in the same area or in the same city or in the same bar,
Yeah.
or you need to travel to
I
to
need
do
to
that?
travel.
You need to
yeah.
travel. Okay.
No, the drama also a little, but not as long as
Okay.
me.
Okay. Get it. Get
Uh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not that long. Luckily, Denmark, as you say, is not that big, so it doesn't take
Yeah.
that long.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I am looking at moving because yeah, that would fit me well.
Okay, I see. I see. This is also one of this when people say, "Oh yeah, it's a hobby or it's like this," but how many times you want to invest? Of course, the growing up, people get married or like have kids, and of course there is other responsibilities maybe pop up at least for a couple of years. Many of my I got some friends that bring kids at work and they're on the backstage with us, and I think it's so nice to see kids because I always ask myself how they're looking at what we are looking, but as an adult and for kids, what does it mean that
Right.
it's and but taking the time this podcast episode okay, is I released this episode after I would say almost 2 months pause, because I decided if I want to do my podcast, totally DIY, I want to do having the guest in the right moments, having myself in the right mindset. Because I want to be honest with you, it's 3 years that I'm freelancing. Before I was working for some orchestra in the country, and I saw the good and the bad situation, and some situation pushed me to take this leap of faith and say let's go freelancing, and for me it was the best. I How can I say, the best choice, not just because the practical things, so that mean money and shoes for who are buy with whom are work. Sorry, my German is popping up. Working, and yeah, the economical situation also is always not easy in the beginning, but here I am, and I can say that's my life. I live for that. I also work in a small restaurant sometimes. I give Italian lessons, but it's okay, I have to be honest, when I was maybe 20, I never thought that I will have three jobs, let's say, to allow me to live, but this allow me to live on my passion.
Right.
So this seems to be a good comment, but it's like um it's just, so I noticed that sometimes I need time for myself to reconnect, to find where I am in this process. And I said, if I would push myself doing like something that should be fun, like doing podcasting, talk to people, learn something new, meet new people, that would be I think wouldn't have and no sense at all for me in the end. So that's why I said it's interesting to see how people deal even in the space and time to keep that project,
Yeah.
and as I said, you release a brand new music, and there is a lot coming up because every time you release something, also you want to play that, you want, of course, the reaction and everything. It's brand new energy, so it's like another, let's say, throw some fuel to the fire. And so that's, but this in some ways gonna ask us, well, okay, that means that for the next 3 months or for next 6 months, maybe next weekends we will be there and there and there and there. So I think some people have to realize it's okay if there are people that are not playing, they're just audience. There's some
Right.
people connecting to me say, "Oh, I don't know play anything." That's okay. We are here to enjoy the moment. Nobody need to be expert in anything. Um, and for those who for and for those who are not playing or have never being in the position of playing them is to understand what happened, even if it's just a hobby. It is a hobby. Like people who have like football, soccer as hobby, they maybe are out weekend playing this and but now in our minds, in our society, it's normal for some kind of activities that yeah, that's the time it takes. But when you play, when you have this say, hey, you're still doing this, you're doing oh, this sometimes maybe just say, come on, dude, really?
It's always, do you make a lot of money playing music? What do you sound like? Bowie? Do you sound like Metallica? Like, you never hear that with football. I feel like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a sports guy, but I feel like you never hear, well, if
Yeah.
you spend every weekend playing football, how much money do you earn? Like, I mean, I
No.
want to be in the Superliga soon, or
Yeah, people assume that you make money when you kind of,
yeah,
whenever if you, they also ask, is your music on Spotify? And it's like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Oh,
very
that's a
common.
big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
really, it's not. You make no fucking money on Spotify. So
It's just a platform where you can
yeah,
really.
release.
exactly.
I and even nowadays with this political situation, say, oh yeah, you should quit Spotify, the other option. Like this is the modern world. This is the society, and but yeah, this the topic about how society has the perception of musician. My father has been organist, and but he works also as a music teacher. And I remember, even as a child, listen to people talk to him, say, "Oh, you play the organ, yeah." No, that's good, but what's your profession? Like, and he
Yeah,
was so um yeah, it was sometimes kind of things it's sad, because the people think that they have this connection and they don't realize how much maybe the energy or maybe it's nowadays is a more open the topic about doing therapy or talk to somebody or just talk about your problems or your inner self
Preach.
and for me
yeah,
music that's part of that therapy,
Yeah.
like
100%.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then this is something that some people underestimate because we are not making money out of that, you
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah.
honestly, right now, talk to you, I'm having a blast, like, and I know that I will keep this energy for the next days. So
Yeah.
this is something that it has to be like talk even more, just while we are
Yeah.
doing this. It's because it's fun, and just saying it's fun, it should be like a powerful sentence.
that should be the
Exactly.
reason enough in itself. Like, fuck
Yes.
money. And if you don't
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
what we do, then come out to a show. Like,
Yeah.
witness the chaos.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's the
Exactly.
chaos.
And that's the thing with both hardcore and yeah, as we or more in power violence.
Yeah,
It's something you gotta experience live. It's you can listen to it, but you don't get the same vibe. You gotta feel it, like
Mhm.
yeah.
truly feel it, and you don't do that if you're only listening in your headphones. You gotta
Yeah,
be there.
I remember the first concert. I was there, and I was a teenager, but I can't remember. The people, the
Yeah.
the opening of the pit. It is kind of
Yes.
kind of a tradition, kind of rules and everything. And then suddenly you are part of a scene, and that's been for many years, even nowadays, incredible experience and makes you grow, makes you feel better. And there's so many friends. I had an experience a little bit sad because there was in Zurich, there was quite a very strong crew, vegan straight edge. And now almost everybody sold out, both the vegan and the
Mm,
straight edge. And I remember going in a store and there is this guy and say, oh, but you are, yeah, yeah. And they say, oh, Shanti, I didn't contact you anymore because I thought you were mad at me because I'm not edge anymore. And I say, dude, for me it's important that you are healthy, you're doing fine, we had good times, you learned something from that period as a straight edge. That's it. It's not for me.
yeah.
It's not something. But um, one last question about the record you already released. Did you mix your in the band, or you give it to as like a third person that that had the chance to work on your material?
That was all Ebbe, a guitarist. He is self-taught in
Hmm.
everything when it comes to recording, mixing, mastering, even doing like artwork, t-shirt designs, album covers, shooting
Yeah.
band photos, music videos. He's got a lot of free time on his hands, and he, I guess, decided to
It's
spend it to
skilled.
learn how to do all that
Yeah.
shit. So
Hmm.
massive respect, and but yeah, that was all him, the
Oh,
mixing and
Yes.
cool.
mastering.
Nice, nice. Because I know that in there in I don't know if he's still living in Copenhagen. I think he's the guitar player or bass player for Cabal.
Right.
All of them live in Copenhagen.
Okay, I think it's kind of named Niklaus or no, remember?
I
But I
think
remember
Cabell's bass player is
it
Dennis.
was play in Scared by Beauty too, and I know him, and I
Is
know he became
oh,
he has become one of a very good producer and makes it,
Niklas Sonne.
yeah.
Oh,
ah.
okay, right. Yeah, he does his own thing. He has what's his band called? He has his own thing under his own name, Niklas Sonne, and he's got fuck, I can't remember right now.
Yeah, but shout out
But
to
some
him
like melodic
because I remember
metal.
from where I met him like as a tour guide, just
Yeah,
DIY everything, and then through the year just see building a studio, collaborated this and then and it was so motivating. Even if it's not my field, but just see somebody
yeah,
just say, oh yeah, I want to do that, and then I saw also he helped those band, this band, friends of mine. I say, oh, that's the way, and I got the same with some friends from Italy. They are from Caserta, so near Naples, and they're called Caserta Beatdown Commando. And it's
nice.
incredible because they're, I guess, one is living near Switzerland and two are living in England,
Whoa.
like somebody else were living there in the north of it. So they're not almost just two are still living there in Caserta, and they met maybe two times a year. But I remember they still having old bands all together. Like now there is a band called Fulci. They are very. It is going very hype right now. They
Yeah,
already came back from States tour with Cannibal Corpse, and in terms of the other bands like they're doing really a lot of bands all together, but all the members are like mixed sometimes. They go there and there and there. And I
nice.
remember when I'm with them, because I'm blessed to be almost part, let's say, part of the family. So we go together and oh yeah, we have to go to the airport picking those guys. Then we drive 1 hour and we go picking these other guys, and then we pack
Right.
everything, and then we go and we play, it's just to having a good time. And this is also he connect a little bit on what we said till now, having connection and leaving the music, seeing good time, investing time, because when people need to travel, like so
Yeah.
it took even more. But yeah, it's amazing. Because I'm very stoked for and happy for your release. I think your shoes also are at the right moment. The year is almost at the end, so we have some good music to start 2026.
Yeah.
Um, and as I said, I hope we can meet soon in person. We'll be in the crowd or on touring together. Let's see what the future reserve us. And yeah, I also definitely need this kind of sound. So I have to thank very much the guys at Anger and Rage Booking, because they always give me the best guest. I would say they're always nice to meet some people. Really, I will definitely use the term randomly, because they say, "Oh, you should talk to this. You should talk with this." I say, "Yeah, why not?" And
Yeah.
then we have like occasion like this one to record an episode so near to the release of this of this brand new music. So it's a good connection for me as a podcaster, but as for you as a band, and I'm really glad we had this time to connect. There is some last word that we would like to share now, in almost at the end of this episode.
I mean,
Grüezi
thanks for having us.
miteinander.
Oh, where did you learn that? Sorry,
I'm
What?
Jeppe,
yeah,
we need to
sorry.
go on that, because this is Grüezi miteinander, das ist
Yeah.
Schweizerdeutsch. I mean, it's
No.
not
Yeah,
even German.
sorry.
This is the Swiss German. That is a
Yes.
specific.
Yeah.
Right. You have
I,
family in Switzerland, right?
I'm part Swiss, but I don't
Yeah.
speak really. I don't
Okay,
speak it.
okay.
But yeah.
Well,
So well,
no, that's so fun. You see,
yeah.
then comes out these things like I have to be honest. To me, the fun part is when people ask me from where I come from,
Mm.
because I always say, "Do you want the short or the long version?"
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was born in India, but I was a baby when I've been adopted. So I would
Right.
say I grew up in Switzerland.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and so people just got confused. Even nowadays, with these stupid things happening in the society, it seems that you need to justify from where you're
Yeah.
from if you have an accent or if your color of your skin is a little bit different from somebody else,
Yeah.
and that they just don't get it. Why why I look like an Indian, but I speak a very good Italian, but I live in the
Yeah.
Right.
Swiss German. So it's like, what's going on
Yeah.
here? It's too much to
Yeah.
compute and,
Yes.
and put together, but that's fun. Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
always go like, "Where are you from, really, or what?"
Yeah.
Y- Yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah.
And then I always make a joke because people go in
Right.
the south of Switzerland for the sun and the warmth in the summer because in between from where I live now in Basel by car is 3 hour ride, so it's not much, but you got the help in between. So it create really a the climate change a lot.
Mm.
We have very nice weather in the north of the country, but the south is just wonderful. And so I always make the joke, oh yeah, I come from the south. You don't
Right.
see it.
Of
It's
course.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like, and then that's just
Then
something
they're
like this.
confused.
Just yeah, just to say like this, but yeah. So, but
Yeah.
that's also
Hmm.
a nice comment. Yeah, yeah. But
Mm.
you speak a little bit German too, or
Nah,
Do
not
I speak
much
German?
either.
No,
Me neither.
okay?
Honestly.
Because this is
I did not
interesting. I
pay
mean,
attention in German class.
but
Yeah.
because Denmark is also, let's say, not so far away
No,
from the
and some
German.
Yeah.
generations is a lot better because it was I'm from Jutland, the part that's connected to Germany. And when I was a kid, there was mainly German TV stations,
Hmm.
and then there were two Danish or something like that. So my brother is very fluent. I'm not, my sister is neither.
Okay, I've been to Fredericia. Maybe I'm
Yeah, yeah.
butchering the name,
That's
Yeah,
but
also
that's where you're
in,
from. Yeah.
yeah.
okay,
That's the hardcore city.
okay,
That's right.
the
Yeah.
RKC. And
Yeah.
something that was curious for me when I was on tour with Gustaris is to see going to Malmo and see that some guys from Sweden and so Danish people they were speaking English, and for me, coming from a country where we learn at least two of the three idioms, um,
Yeah.
I say, guys, you live 30
So
minutes under
close.
each other. Why
Yeah.
speak English? And then
Yeah.
and then I start understanding. I mean, in 3 weeks of tour, I didn't understood or didn't learn anything about Danish. And I kind of ashamed because speaking language is kind of my hobbies and it kind of very comes to me very natural. But with Danish, I had really, really a hard time.
It's a weird language.
Yeah, people say that.
It's a
It's,
difficult one.
yeah,
At
like
least, yeah.
like speaking Swedish with a hot potato in your mouth is what people say in a way.
Okay, I never heard of that.
But then there are us from Denmark who think that Swedish just sounds like very drunk Danish. So
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
that's
okay.
why we have to speak English with them.
And in your
Yeah.
music, because of course you scream and shout, but you normally in English, or have you also
No,
songs that
only
in
in
Danish
English
are
so far. But again, yeah, it's the first album, so who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, there might be a shout out at some point. Who knows?
okay? There is us because I said sometimes it's very cool. There is a song of Rise of the North Star. Don't ask me the title, but I remember one of the last, I guess, in the second or third albums they made, and of course they sing in English, but at some point doing because they do this kind of crossover, the lead singer can do some kind of rapping in French, and it was
Oh,
so cool because he got this really really French accent, and I
Nice.
said
yeah,
that fits just right in that song if you know that they're from
yeah.
Paris
Yeah.
and everything. So yeah,
I'm pretty sure Switzerdeutsch wouldn't kind of be a rapping kind of language.
I mean, have you heard? I mean, if you want, I
Yeah,
send you later some links.
yeah.
I have to be honest, and I'm not scared to say this on the air because I'm kind of open on that. I imitate good the Swiss German, but I don't speak it because I don't like it. I don't like the way
Right.
it
No,
sounds. I have to be honest. I don't. I think
I
when
think
I'm in
it's
working
I
in
think
German,
it's
it's so
kind of
good.
charming. It's charming, but I was there not long ago to visit family, and I actually think it sounds so to a Dane. when I explain how it sounds like the way that we speak in the southern part of Jutland. They have
Okay.
their own kind of words for stuff,
Yeah.
and that's also dependent on which canton, right, that it's
Yeah.
from. Then they have a different word in one, and then yeah. So it just sounds funny, like a made up language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just that living here sometimes is kind of thing situation that when you call somebody, you go somewhere and you don't speak it, you speak, let's say, German, Hochdeutsch, and and people keep speaking with you in Swiss German. Sometimes it kind of like it's like a making a position, in taking a position about this is
Yeah.
we are in Switzerland. Why you don't speak Swiss German?
That's
And
how we always say about the French, right? That they only speak French.
Mm.
yeah, that's true. We
Yes.
said so. As Swiss people, we said so. So a lot of language is prejudice, but that's true.
Yeah,
Everybody, what
yeah.
you can say, this is part of it. But long story short, I would like to learn a little bit of Danish, but just to say, okay, I know enough people that I need to learn a little bit or to say this and that because it's just curious, you know. As I said, I spent really a lot of time with the guys in the van, really near to each other, but
Yeah.
not even the GPS of the car that it was in Danish.
Oh,
I couldn't say there was
you need to
words
try
that
it
is
out on Duolingo or something like that. Then maybe you'll learn something.
yeah. I put that on my to-do list for next year.
Yes. Yes.
So I
Looking
will
forward
see
to hear
some.
it.
Yes.
Guys, I
Ah,
thank you very much for your time to be part of this episode of Music to Live for with Shanti. It's always a pleasure to share some thoughts, some ideas. Congratulations for the release of the new album. It's not even an EP or like a single. Is an album. I did understand right. Yeah, that's amazing. So for the audience, just go and listen to Mite online, whatever platform you like. You will find all the link in the description of the episode. Also, I assume that you are starting also printing some merch. So if somebody want to support the band, just go check it out and buy something because it's all money going supporting good project, good people, and of course, if you have the chance to go and see Might or other bands that appear on this podcast, it's one of the most strong form of support and Mora, yeah, but
yeah.
thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure. And as I said, I wish you already a good start in the 2026, the year that I hopefully we're gonna also cross our path. And thank you for this episode. Thank you for the audience, and see you next time.
Thank you for
See ya.
having us.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Music to live for with Shanti.